Okay. Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Is everything okay with sound? I assume yes, but still. Yeah, Tom, thank you for confirmation. Okay, guys, just a reminder, I will look only at live streaming channel in Discord, so please join there if you haven't joined our Discord yet, because it will be a bit hard for me to look simultaneously in two places. So yeah, I did it at first intro stream, but as for now, I hope you all have registered to the course in RSAP. Everyone has joined Discord, so please go there. So uh, I will just look there sometimes and may answer your questions. Please write some, I don't know, pluses, emojis, whatever in a live streaming channel, so I could see that you are there. Okay, thank you. Just in case I can see your messages here. Okay, so guys, I will take a look here. Okay, so what we are going to do today? Today we are going to review solution of your first task, namely basic Node.js basics. And after that, we will quickly discuss file manager task. And I can answer your questions if you will have some. Okay, so what you had to do, just a quick reminder for everyone, you had to implement several functions, mostly functions without usage of any external tools, libraries, and ready-made solutions. You had to use 22 version of Node.js, namely 22.14.0, and also you had to only write code inside of functions body. Do not change exports, function signature, for example. Don't make synchronous function asynchronous and vice versa. And also, if you have options which API to use, I mean API style synchronous or asynchronous, you should prefer asynchronous API whenever it's possible. So you had several subtasks. Let's review it in the order in which they listed in assignment. So let's begin from create.js. I also made several changes. Time up to time, we will switch between student solution and my fixes. I will use power of Git for this. So, but first of all, could you please tell me whether this I don't know, text size is okay for you? Is everything visible, or we can make it bigger like this, or we can switch back? Please confirm that everything is fine, or you need to make it bigger and we can start. Yeah, guys, please write in live streaming channel once again. I'm not looking at, please write your messages in Discord. I'm not looking at YouTube. Okay, thank you. Thanks, cool. Okay, so at the right side, you can see assignment requirements. So here we have create.js file, where you had to implement a function that creates a new file, fresh.txt, inside of files folder. And you had to fill it with content. I'm fresh and young because, yeah, we create a fresh file. And if file already exists, I mean file fresh.txt inside of files folder, you should throw error with message fs operation failed. Sounds pretty simple. What do we have here? We have create function which is called inside which is called by script when you will run script npm run fs create, and we have two functions inside of it. Yeah, we also have login. This logger also works like error handler. We will take a look at this later, and I also have questions to this implementation. But what's going on here? First, we call function check directory, right? So we try to check whether directory exists. Dir path is about path to this files folder. And if it doesn't exist, it's created. And after that, we check file and we try to write file with flag wx. And after that, we catch error and send it for processing to log message. Okay. In general, looks like it working. We have we avoid magic values. We put everything inside of the constants, which is good. Plus, also we distinguish Node.js specific errors, like error with code EE exists, EE no end, etc., from other errors. It's a bit overkill, in my opinion, for this task because it was not in the requirements. You should you had to be more focused on using file system module APIs, but okay, it's fine. But what is the problem with this approach? I mean, when you check directory and check file in two separated API calls. Maybe you can write it to the chat. How do you think? In the meantime, I will write command to switch solution. Not really, because we have async and await here, so this function will be, I mean, check file will be executed only after we finish execution of check directory. It's not true. If it would be true if we would use something like promise all, then right, it would be done in parallel, and we could have a race condition. Okay. Perhaps I got what you mean. Yeah, we may have race condition, but not because of this code, but because of, okay, we have a file system, right, on your machine, or I don't know, on some remote server, and we may have multiple processes that have access to it, or even multiple users who can change condition of your file system. So you make check for I don't know, guys, take it a bit abstract, not in scope of this task. Okay, imagine you want to check something and existence of the file, and you want to do some stuff with this file, right? So you make first API call when you check that file exists. And after that, you make second API call to check that, to do some, to execute some business logic over this file. Okay, but Node.js is pretty quick. I think that if there's no complex logic in your API calls, it will be executed in several milliseconds, one after another. But we still have this small time gap between these API calls. So what do I mean? You check the directory exists, right? You try this fs access, directory exists, everything is fine. After that, no error is thrown. You try to create file, and between these two API calls, someone else removes your check directory, and you were assured that, okay, directory exists if we checked it, but directory no longer exists. So, what do I mean? What do I mean? If possible, it doesn't apply only to Node.js. It also apply to how we work with, I don't know, some other shared APIs. It was to use single API call if possible and rely on errors. right? So what do I mean? Let's check. Let's take a look at changed version of this file. So here we do single API call. So we try to write file to the we try to write file to our file path. We use flag wx, and we have no other API calls, which means that this single API call will either fail or will be successful. So please, if possible, try to use a single API call everywhere. Another thing that error message should be fs operation failed. Yeah, and if we will take a look at previous implementation, you can see that there is additional information of stringified original error. But could you please answer what do we have for such cases? We have our own custom error, but we need to somehow know what was original error. We have a very cool specific property for this. Yes, yes, Altmer, it's correct. It's cause. So, first of all, let's take a look at the implementation of original log message function, and then we will switch to updated implementation. So what log message function do is it accepts message and message type, and according to message type, we have a lot of stuff to beautify things, to have a pretty CLI output, but it has another functionality. If type is strict equal to error, then it throws a new error. To be honest, for me, it breaks pure functions principle and some good practices because, well, function has name log message, and I expect that it only logs message, not throwing errors. So if you want to do login plus throwing error, you can do it consequently. For example, okay, we've got error, I want to write some logs, and after that I crash my process, but I have information about what happened in logs. So I would propose to separate these API calls, but anyway, if we want to use this function, we can do it like that. First of all, we write original error into cause property. And also because we have three parameters and one optional parameter. So in general, if you have optional parameter or you have multiple optional parameters, using arguments, arguments pseudo array instead of object may be not very convenient because you have to, especially without types highlight, because you have to remember on what stuff goes on which place, and if it has the same types, it may end very bad. So I propose for cases like this, I propose to use RORO pattern. It means receive object, return object. In this case, we do not return object, but we can receive object. So it's better to explicitly name arguments and do not rely on their order here. So yeah, and let's see how it works with or without our changes. Let's run npm script, npm run fs create. Okay, we can see that everything works fine. We created fresh file, and it should throw error if file already exists. Okay, we can see that we have error fs operation failed. We have some additional information like what was original error. We can see this part from Node.js. But if we would switch to our implementation with cause, then if we run this, you can see that error has a message that we need, fs operation failed, but it has cause where we can have access to original error. For me, it looks a bit better because it fully satisfies requirement, and we have additional information that we need inside of course error. So I also adjusted implementation of this functionality in order to provide arguments using object. You can see everything is on its own place. Okay, what do we have next? We have copy.js. And once again, we are looking to original implementation and after that at our fixes. Okay, copy.js. I'll remove fresh.txt so it doesn't bother us. We have a bit extended error map. We have more codes from Node.js, not only E exists, but E no end, and also R fs cp ee exist, which is a bit overkill for this task, as I mentioned, but still. Okay, we have source pass, target pass, and we make single API call, fscp. We use some parameters in order to throw errors in according to task requirements, which is good. Let's take a look at the adjusted implementation. Yeah, I propose to use constants for error messages. Probably this should be not even here, I mean inside of copy module. Probably it should be in some shared place like constants.js at upper level, and you should import it everywhere because, okay, imagine you want to change your error message and if you have it in multiple places, if you have this duplication, you will have to change it in multiple places simultaneously. You will have a situation called shotgun surgery when you have to change single thing in many places instead of changing it in one place. So it's really better to store such stuff inside of some constants. Okay, probably I also have additional suggestion. You can see that these constants, they don't rely on what's happening inside of the function. Yes, so it uses dir name, which is defined in upper scope. It uses source dir name, which is constant in upper scope once again, and same with target pass. So just a good practice, if you do not need something that is calculated inside of the function or its arguments, then you probably should put such constants outside of the function. And also we used here this fs operation failed as original message, and we also use this pattern with provision of original error as cause. But everything else is just fine. And also please pay attention that recommended way of importing for inbuilt Node.js modules is this Node protocol. It is better to start it from Node. You can see a very good explanation why you should do this in Node.js documentation. I don't want to spend time on this, so if you are interested, you can take a look there. Otherwise, you can just trust me. Because I read it at Node.js website. Okay, everything works fine here. So let's try to run it. npm run fs copy. Okay, we have login here. When we try to run it again, we have our fs operation failed. And if we do not have initial folder, we will still have this fail. Yeah. So that's good. Okay. So we checked how it works. Let's switch to student implementation and take a look at the next function. Okay, let's take a look at rename.js. I will not repeat myself, so stuff about putting this outside of the function and using constants here and so on, everything is the same. let's take a look at what's new here. Okay, main function rename makes two checks for file existence, and after that it calls fs rename. Okay, here we have the same problem, but which I mentioned in copy. I mean multiple consecutive API calls, but this is unfortunately not the situation where we can completely avoid it, because if you will take a look at fs rename, it has only one signature like old pass, new pass. It doesn't have overloads, or you can't provide options there, additional options. I mean, like flags or behavior on, or you cannot modify it behavior what it will do if new pass already exists. So what we can do here is try to avoid at least a single API call. So we should really check for existence of new pass if you want to throw error on new file existence. But what regarding the situation when we do not have old file, fs rename will throw error itself. You can easily try it. So I can try to remove wrong file name, and you can see that we check only for new file. Sorry, wrong file. You can see that we check only for new paths, and if we will run script npm run fs rename, you can see that we have error from Node.js here, no such file or directory, wrong file name .txt. Okay. So it works out of the box. Sorry. Okay, we have several questions in live channel. If I use console error instead of throw error, is this a reason to lower the grade? In my opinion, for this first task, okay, if we will take a look at the requirement, it explicitly says that you have to throw error with a certain message. But I really understand that console error and throwing error doesn't really differ. So if you throw it using console error, my personal opinion that on check you should not decrease score for this, because it's like it's not even simplification of implementation. It has similar complexity. Okay, we have Indira YS here. Why we can't use callback here? I'm not sure I fully understand your question. It would be better if you could elaborate. I assume that you are talking about Node.js promises, and yes, you can do. You can use callbacks API in general, but I strongly advise you to use premisified versions of API because they are more modern. And callback hell is anti-pattern. It leads to growing complexity of code. It leads to the shift of your code to the right side. It's hard to understand. It leads to deeper nesting, and it's hard to understand what happens at which level. So it's better to write flat code, and premisified API helps us to do this without blocking every time. If do, throw error. Okay, guys, I will take a look what you say a bit later, because I don't understand it from the first glance. But in general, in JavaScript, callbacks and promises differ only in code style. So everything you can do with callbacks, you can do it with promises. Trust me. Okay, so we took a look at this rename.js. Let's take a look at delete.js. And we have pretty similar stuff here. We use fs.unlink. Fs is from premisified version of API. Pretty similar here, and let's take a look at what comment I left. Yeah, I left comment about moving such constants outside of the function. Plus, you can use two different APIs. You can use fs.rm or you can use fs unlink. They differ in, let's say, their power, because RM is more powerful. It accepts more options and can be, its behavior can be customized better. But for this specific thing, like remove a single file, there is no real difference. So I have no questions here. I only replaced our log message with version that receives object and provided it with cos. So everything else is just fine. Okay, let's take a look at list.js. Pretty similar thing here. So we use fs read dir API, we provide it with dir pass, and after that we print all file names in a row. So what does it mean, this constant here, os.eol? How do you understand it? You can write in chat. Let's see. Uh, yeah, it's one of an option, Alex. This is really end of line. This is what this shortened form means. But it's system end of line, and it really depends on what system we are running this Node.js process. It can be different in Unix-based systems or Windows. So yeah, it's our default system end of line. Okay, let's try this in runtime. npm run fs list. Okay, we have a list of our files. Let's check whether I left some comments here. Each out. No, not really. Only switched to error form. Sorry, not error, object form for log message. Everything else is fine here. Okay, let's take a look at last function from file system module. It's read.js, where we have to read file content. And what happens here? We get passed to the file that we have to read, and we use the fs read file API. And after that, we print file content into console. Let's try to do it. npm run fs read. Okay, cool. You can see that content of the file matches, printed content matches real content of the file, right? Plus it has similar formatting. I mean, not similar, exactly the same, right? So new line at the end of each line here. So everything is fine. Let me check. Yes, everything looks good here. Okay, let's take a look at, maybe you have some questions about file system module tasks. If not, we can just move forward. I will take a look at the chat. In general, as you can see, Node.js provides you with a very handy and convenient way to work with your file system. You can have, let's say, more low-level APIs, like you can read, for example, you can read files by certain numbers of bytes. So you can create your own implementation of readable streams using streams module and file system API. But in general, I just asked you to use more high-level APIs here. Okay, if everything is clear, we can move forward. Thank you. Let's take a look at CLI folder. And first of all, we would like to try to log environment variables. but not all environment variables, only those ones who has prefix RSS with this underscore, and we print it in certain format like RSS name one value equals value one. Then we have this semicolon, white space, and next one, and so on. So let's take a look at the implementation. Um, Okay, so first of all, we get environment variables from process.env. This is correct, they are stored here. Then we iterate over keys of this object, this dictionary of environment variables. If this key starts with RSS, then we push it to array, and after that we, I see error here. I mean, it doesn't match requirements of the task. But okay, not really a big deal, probably. Okay, you can see here some functionality like you create array, then you iterate over object, which is process.env using for loop. After that, you push stuff in this array. Maybe, guys, maybe you have idea how to do it better using ECMAScript 2015 APIs. In general, when you create some, let's say, helpers like empty array to push properties there, I don't know, empty object to fill it with properties, maybe you can do another stuff. Yeah, I agree with you, Altmer. I'm talking about this solution. Yeah, I have written something like that. So you can switch from for in loop to object entries. It provides you with array of arrays, and those I mean nested arrays contain key and value consequently. So first of all, you create object entries, then you do filtering for to leave only entries that starts with RSS, and after that you do mapping in order to map this key value array to the string with key equal value. So it will work exactly the same, right? So we can do npm run CLI env, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah. The only error here is that it should be joined not using os.eol, but string of such format. So it should really look like this. But okay, it's minor. And what else? Yeah. In general, you should prefer APIs that allows you not to not to create helper variables. Okay, thank you. Good. Let me add this to my review. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at arguments. So we do here pretty same thing. We just do process argv slice 2. By the way, what it means? It means that we take elements from the third one, but what is on the first two places in process argv? Do you know it? I'm just curious. Because we all know that, okay, you have to do this process argv slice. This is the way how to get arguments of command line interface. But why do you have to do this slice? Let's see at the chat. First two is Node and File.js. You are right. First two are Node and File.js, but what it means? First argument is passed to Node.js executable on your machine, and second one is passed to this module. So it would be not file.js. In this case, it would be passed to args.js, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's try to do it. Less talking, more coding. Okay, let's print it to the console. Console log process argv. Okay, npm run CLI args. Okay, yeah, you can see that first one is passed to Node.js executable, second one is passed to the module. In this context, it's not so interesting for us, so we don't need it, but yeah, it's good to know what is contained there. Everything else is pretty obvious. You just iterate over arguments. Now for loop may be a good option because you really need index. You can do iteration using array iteration properties because you have access to index there as well, but here it's not critical. So yeah, the only problem is that probably format here again doesn't match it. Prop name value. Yeah, probably you had to create array and concatenate it and using this comma plus white space as a delimiter. Okay, I had an issue with npm run CLI env script. An error occurred. Could not install cross env. Probably you should try to, if you have, for example, macOS, probably you should try it with root user permissions. I mean, try to add sudo, do it like this, and write your password, and after that it should be working correctly. Yeah. I have Windows. So anyway, you can take a look at what happens at script level. So you have npx here. So your terminal should be able to run this command. This is a way to use crossenv without prior installation of it using npm install and so on. So this is for compatibility between Unix-based systems and Windows. So you really need to ensure that you have proper permissions. Yeah, I can show function log message again. Here is our improved version, which explicitly puts initial error as cause property, and this is previous implementation, which just logs error and logs message, and if this is error, it throws it. Okay, so we took a look at CLI. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the modules. So we had to okay, I assume we need original module here. Please give me a second. I will add it here as well. Modules. It would be better to compare it. It would be better to compare it side by side. Okay, and we have this MJS version. What you need to know is that Node.js uses two module system. One is CommonJS, you can see it at right side, and second one is about ECMAScript modules, which is more modern, but both versions are supported. So let's take a look. What do we have here? First of all, we have default import, which equivalent in ECMAScript syntax is import pass from pass, right? So const pass equals to require pass is equal to import pass from pass. I'm not really sure why do we need this fs here. Probably Yeah, it's not used, so I think we can remove it. Okay, next is how we work with named import. So here you do something like destructure assignment. You just destructure this default import into several properties. And here it looks pretty same, except the fact that it's specific syntax for import. You can import release and version from OS module without any problems. Yeah, by the way, you may notice that we do not have node prefix here. It's a mistake. It's my mistake because I forgot to update this file. I will do it right after we finish with this assignment. Don't worry, but yeah, it would be better to use node prefix here, just as I suggested to you. And also, this is about importing with changing names. Uh, Once again, we use the same old destructure assignment here, but in ECMAScript modules, we have specific syntax import A as B from our source. And also we have just importing the module without importing some values here. So what it does, it just executes CJS, and you can see that it prints something into console. And if you properly imported this module, you will see this stuff into console. Okay, what really makes difference here? First of all, we have file name and their name in common JS modules out of the box. They looks like global variables. They are not really global, but they are injected on module level. By Node.js, you can once again read of how it works if you are interested, but what is important to know is that you do not have constants like file name and their name in ECMAScript modules. It's not a problem. You have stuff like import meta properties, specifically import meta URL or import meta dir name, and you have various options how to create a file name and dir name yourself. This is the third thing. Next thing is that if you will try to do something like, okay, guys, can we do something like import, I don't know, release as release 2 from OS here. Can we do something like this? And why? No, yes, Diana, you are correct. We cannot do it. Yeah, usual imports should be at top level, and you will try to take a look at the error. Our IDE highlights to us that okay, import declaration can only be used at the top level of the module. This is different from require function, because require function can be used at any level. So if you need some dynamic imports like here, okay, here we just flip the coin, and 50% is that we need to import a file a.json, and 50% is that we need to import b.json. So you can achieve such behavior in ECMAScript modules, but you need to either use create require functionality, or you can use dynamic imports. Yes, we can use import. Another important note that import, you can see that it looks like function, but it's not a function. Be very careful here. You can be asked about this on technical interviews. Maybe for junior developer. It's just a specific keyword. It's not a function, but yeah, syntax looks like a function. So we import stuff here dynamically using await here, because import is happens asynchronously, and we can use top level await in ECMAScript modules. I mean, you do not put stuff in async function. Do you use keyword await? This is another feature of ECMAScript modules. So here everything looks pretty same. Okay, it doesn't have differences. This was only to check that, to ensure that everything works correctly here. And from what I see, everything just fine. Plus exports of values has a similar form here. So everything is working correctly, and we can try to run it probably. Modules. Okay, let's try to run modules. npm run modules. Okay, everything is fine here. We can see all the data. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the hash implementation. Sorry, not hash, but maybe British version says hash. I'm not really sure. You can write in chat if you know. What we had to do, we had to implement calculate hash function, which implement the function that calculates SHA 256 hash for a specific file. I mean file to calculate hash for .txt. So what is hashing function? This is a function that accepts some data and which performs some algorithms over its file content and create some output named hash sum. And this is how you can quickly check that file content is not damaged, not corrupted, not changed, because you can simply compare hash sums of two files. If they are the same, we can assume with high probability that file content is the same. Yeah, why we can only assume it with high probability? Because each hashing function has something we name hash collision. Yeah, when we can receive the same hash for different different inputs. Yeah, and this is the difference between good hashing function and bad hashing function, because probability of collision should be very low, and the lower the less. Okay, so let's take a look at the implementation. Here we create a hash using create hash API from crypto module. Yeah, by the way, do not forget about this node prefix. What is hash? Hash is specific interface which also has stream API sites, and because of this we can create readable stream from the file, and after that we can pipe those streams, I mean readable stream, into writable interface of hash, and we can use pipeline API to await it. Yeah, we could do it differently. We could do just stream pipe hash. Plus, we could add error handling here and etc. But using pipeline is really more convenient and more modern way to do it. And because we have we have promised version of pipeline API, we can await it as well. And after that, we can digest our hash only after we read and hashed all the file, which is very convenient. Let me check. Probably I do not have any comments here. Yeah, correct. Everything is working fine here. Let's move on. Let's move to the streams. Streams is a very important concept in Node.js, and in fact in many other programming languages as well. So your first task was to read file using readable stream. Let's take a look at how it looks like. Okay, first of all, you need to create a readable stream. Okay, here we put it into source stream. I have tricky question for those of you who deeply dive into this topic. Okay, we call fs create read stream. Our stream is created. It has some state. Which state this readable stream currently is? I mean, is it reading data or no? And what we need to do in order to read some data from the stream. I will put chat on the screen, so please go ahead. Open, probably it's not a very correct word in terms of Node.js documentation. Try harder. Hmm. Okay, guys, we have flowing mode and we have post mode. So what it means when you just you can read about it in streams module of Node.js documentation. So what is important to know, until you explicitly try to get some data from readable stream, I mean there are various way to do it. You can pipe it into another stream, right? You can put it into pipeline, which basically syntactic sugar, which do pretty same things. You can call I don't know, source stream dot read, right? You can add the event listener to data event or some other events. But anyway, you need to explicitly get data from readable stream, and only after that it will start to ingest data. But okay, here we just create a readable stream. We pipe it into std out, which is our standard stream of Node.js process. And because of this, we will pipe data from file into our console. Let's see how it works. npm run stream read. Probably streams. This file should be read using streams API. Okay, it works. Cool. Probably I do not have other comments here, so let's move to the right interface. Okay, here we do pretty same thing, except the fact that we create writable stream into our destination, which is file path, file to write docs.txt, and the order here is different. So we need to pipe readable interface into writable interface. Okay, so previously we put our readable interface once again into writable side of process std out, and here we do vice versa. By the way, why do I say writable side of the interface? Because process std out should be writable stream. Maybe you have some assumptions. Once again, if you dive deeply into streams and what kind of streams exist in Node.js. I had an issue here when I use npm run script, all std out logs are being cleared from the console. It's written and cleared. I could see it using timeout for exit. I could only fix using silent mode. pm run s streams read. Not really sure. I have this latest version of Node.js. You can see that it's 22.14.0. Maybe we can take a look at utils here, because okay, but here we check some other stuff like istty, that mode is not dump, etc. But For me, it works just out of the box. But let's switch back to the question. Why do I say writable side of proc std out? Okay, we have no assumptions. The answer is that many objects in Node.js have both writable and readable interface because they are instance of duplex stream. Yeah, Altmer, you are correct because it's duplex. Uh, yeah. Generally we use only one side. Okay, for example, process stdin is we usually use it like readable stream, or incoming request we use it like readable stream, but it's duplex and it has a writable interface as well. Good to know. Maybe it can be helpful for you sometimes. Okay, it should work as well. I do not want to spend time on trying it because I can see that I'm sure that it will work correctly. Let's take a look at transform. And it's quite more complex. Why? Because, we create readable stream and writable stream here using ready-made API from FS module, right? You can create your own readable and writable stream from scratch. All you need to do is to create a class or use a simplified constructor using object like here. So you can either create your own class which represents your custom stream and extend from base stream from stream module, or you can use object constructor where necessary APIs are object methods. So you only have to follow several constraints, and you can implement your very own logic of reading, and it can be anything. But for transform, we do not have default transform streams. In fact, we have it. For example, this hash works like transform stream here, but if you want to make your own logic like reverse string, you need to implement your own transform method. So student did it here like using simplified syntax. We have transform here, which accepts a chunk of data, because we remember that streams works with some data sources chunk by chunk. And after we done all our logic related to data transformation here, we need to call back with our data, and null is first argument. Why null? Because first argument is usually used for error if it exists, but we do not have error here, so we just emit the data. So after callback was called, streams API knows that okay, processing of single chunk is done here, we can move to the next chunk. So this is how it works. And here in pipeline, you just put readable stream, you just put here as a next argument transform stream, and transform stream yields data to writable stream, which is processed out. And in complex, it works like this: npm run streams, transform. Okay, we can see that AAA, BBB, it's reversed. So everything looks like it works just fine. This is the whole power of Node.js streams. You can have very different chains. You can have your own logic, everything you need. And you will not have this out of memory situation, because you really process information chunk by chunk, which is awesome, I believe. Okay, let's move on to the zlib module. It's usually used for compression and decompression of the data. So what I can see here, that we create readable stream for our source, we create writable stream for destination, namely different file, and in between we create transform stream, by the way, this is transform stream out of the box, which you can find in zlib module. It's create gzip. It's used for compression. And after that, what we do with streams, we just pipe it into one another or just put it into pipelines. And that's basically it. It works just fine. Let's try it. npm run zip compress. And you can see that we have this archive.jz here. And we can try to decompress it. Let's remove original file. So we will be sure that we will get data from compressed file. You can see that compress and decompress really differ only in what we use as transform stream. In compress, it was create gzip, and in decompress, it was create g-unzip. So zip, unzip sounds pretty easy and understandable. And let's run decompress. And you can see that, okay, cool, we restored original file here. Okay, cool. Once again, I have no questions to this code. It looks very good and fine. Let me omit this archive and let's move on. We also have worker threads, which sometimes used for moving some heavy computations out of the main thread. And idea here was to create several workers which receive some initial data. In our case, it's just a number that will be used to calculate Fibonacci sequence, I mean nth member of Fibonacci sequence, starting from 10 plus current worker number. If you, okay, I'm talking too much. If you solved this task, you know what is it about. And what we can see here, we can see that, okay, we have a workers array. Here we push a result of Fibonacci worker service, which returns promise. And this promise receives a message from worker. We create worker and we subscribe on message and on error events. And after that, we resolve data. So why do we need this workers array? Because if we will just emit it as is, we will not we may not have the same order in which we put data. But if we create array of promises, and after that we await all this data in parallel, which is also good because we don't need to block one worker while another workers work. We want to do it all in parallel, and every piece of data will be on its own place. Let's try to run it. npm run wt, and you can see that order is correct. Numbers have ascending order, and regardless of how many times we run it, order remains the same. In fact, it's understandable because, computation of Fibonacci number for longer sequence is usually taking more time, because I used here a very bad implementation in terms of code complexity. So yeah, please do not do it. It was intentional to simulate high performance computations. You should use just formula and do not have this ugly function. But what you had to do here is to send data using parent port, using post message API, and if we have some error here, I mean, okay. What I really wanted to say is that we get data from worker data. It works inside of worker thread and send message to parent port. This code can be placed in single file because we have a flag that helps us to determine which which thread we are currently in, okay? Because we have a flag is main thread, and if this equals to true, then we know that we are inside of main thread. So we can just do something like if is main thread and put code for main thread in this logical branch, else and put worker code in other logical branch. But to make it easier and more convenient for you, I separated code for main thread in main.js file, and worker.js file contains worker thread code. Okay, let's see at the question. We have question about this. If student update function is ends Fibonacci and the error is not handled correctly, is the reason to lower the grade? I don't know why he replaced the function, but it passes number. In my opinion, it's a partial implementation because it's important. We could not handle error here, but okay, here student made two places where we handle error because we handle it using catch, throw new error, test. Okay, I'm curious. I'm curious why it doesn't work. It's obvious why it doesn't work because we put our throw new error after a message was posted. So error was happening inside of worker and we don't see it. Okay. But in fact, it would work even without this catch because we have handling here. So let's remove the sketch. Let's remove the sketch thing. I mean, sending data to parent port. Perform calculation. Deprecated, unsettled, top level, await. La la la. Level await main. Okay. Looks weird. But anyway, we have error handling in two places. It's acceptable, and we can handle errors in worker thread outside of worker thread, or we can have some logic inside of worker thread code as well. Hi, should we lower the score if prefix not is not specified? No, you shouldn't. I use promise all settled here, but it returns status value object instead of status data. Is it okay? It's okay. Why not? If your output matches this shape, I mean status error data null or status okay data Fibonacci number, then you can use any API you want. Okay, and let's take a look at child processes. It differs a bit from worker threads. So you can read about differences between child processes and worker threads. They work differently because child process is a new instance of Node.js process, but worker threads share some stuff. Okay, you had to implement IPC channel between std in and std out, and here student used module used fork API from child process model, which by default creates inter-process communication channel or IPC channel between our parent and child process. So let's try to run it. npm run cp, and you can see that yes, we log arguments from child process, and we do this logging inside of child process that we have here. I mean, in script.js that you shouldn't change. Yeah, by the way, you shouldn't really change that, just in case. It had to remain clean. Okay, if we put here close, we end work of cp.js, and it works out of the box. You could just explicitly get std in and std out of child and parent processes and pipe it into one another in proper order. But if you use a fork, it works out of the box. Perhaps this is it. we checked all the APIs. So in general, what I can say about this work, it has a good structure. The only problems that we have here is just about, I don't know, using best practices, like do not put login and throwing errors inside of the same function. Plus, I don't get why do we need this use caller, which is equals to true here, and it's hard coded. Maybe you can use just true or remove it, or you can use some, I don't know, command line argument, and depending on its present, you should make this colored logging or not. Plus, about naming, okay, I understand that you want to stick to common JS names like file name or their name, but you write your own function and you can name it whatever you want. So you can use just file name and their name in camel case without this sorry, forgot how to name it, dash snake underscore, sorry, without this two underscores, it would be really better, but it's acceptable. Other stuff is pretty minor. Okay, so if you have some questions about this assignment, you can ask it now. I will wait for about 1 or 2 minutes for your questions, and after that, we will discuss your next assignment. Yeah, guys, and by the way, please do not submit pull requests here, okay? I will leave it for now, but please create your fork and make pull requests inside of your fork, not to main repository, because it's not about it. Okay, let me check. Assignments, file manager. And let's see whether you have some questions. Okay, Alex is writing. I will wait. Okay. Pass join or pass resolve. In general, it simply has, it has slightly different purposes. So you should read documentation and decide what you need. So this is both API are about concatenation of paths, but it has slightly different logic. So I don't remember, to be honest. I remember that mostly I used pass join, but probably it's about how it works with separators, like all those slashes in different systems like Windows and Unix based. They have slightly different algorithms. Yeah, and probably it works differently with relative and absolute pass. So I would not answer this question better than documentation, sorry. Okay, I see no other questions, but yeah, thank you for your question. It's a really good one, but I'm not prepared to answer it immediately. Sorry. Okay, let's move on. Your next assignment is to create a command line interface application named File Manager. Previously, you worked with Node.js APIs separately. Now you need to put everything together in order to create some monolith application. So your application will be working pretty similar on how you can work with console. For example, Bash console, Bash CLI interface. It will perform basic file operations like copy, moving, deleting, renaming, all of this. Yeah, get some information about host machine operating system. You will dive a bit deeper into Streams API, and you need to put everything together and handle errors to gracefully process it. Do not crash application, some information about your current user, and so on. So you have explicit list of operations. You have some navigation operations like up, which puts you upper of the current directory. You can use cd or change directory operation provide it with pass to change your virtual directory into this one. You can use ls command to have pretty printed current working directory content. Plus, you have some other operations like cut. You can use it for reading file, and please pay attention that it should be done using readable stream. You can create an empty file in current working directory using add command. You can create new directory using mkdir command. You can use rn command to rename file, copy file, move file, delete file, etc. Plus, you can get some information about your operation system, like what is your default system end of line, what is amount of CPUs on host machine, what is home directory of your system, what is system username. Do not confuse it with your application username that you provide on application start. Yeah, it should be different or the same if you put the same names there, but it's about system username really. And CPU architecture, plus hash calculation and compress and decompress operations. So you are familiar with everything. All you need is to create some, let's say, architecture, maybe some layers, which will be responsible for working of different parts of the application. And that's basically it. Do you have some questions about this file manager? I will wait a little bit. It seems that not. I can share with you demo from previous course iteration. We do not have time to perform demo for now because we are a bit out of our schedule, but I think it's pretty clear how it should work from task description. Uliana is writing. I will wait for her question, answer it, and probably we can wrap up after it. And yeah, guys, side note, do not forget to to make cross-check review. I mean, you previously submitted your solution for review. Do not forget to review tasks of other students that you have to check because you will not get a score for this. Uliana, regarding your question, how up command should work, it should work exactly like cd to dots. Okay, so we can see that we are in one folder. If we go upper, we are in another folder, in another folder, in another folder, in another folder, until we reach root folder. And after that, we are not going upper. So you can see that when I'm at top level, it doesn't go upper. Your implementation of up command should work exactly the same. Absolutely the same logic. Yeah. By the way, guys, what is important? CD and then some pass, right? It can be relative pass, it can be absolute pass, it can be pass on other system drive if you are a Windows user. It's important, it should work for all valid pass strings. It should not work only in scope of single place. I mean single system drive and something like this. We have more questions on the way. And yes, don't forget about tests. You also have tests in your schedule. You can do it in your convenient time, but be sure not to miss deadline. I am aware about issues with Node.js basics tests, so thanks Yulia for highlighting. I fixed it, so it should be available for you and you can pass it. Maybe she's talking about going up by multiple directories. But okay, no, you cannot do stuff like up. There is only one command. So you can have up and you go to upper directory if it's possible. If you are at the root, then you cannot go upper and you remain in the same directory. Multiple commands should not be supported, so do not overcomplicate it. It's easy as this. Okay, I can see that there are no more questions, so probably we can wrap up. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your activity in chat, for your solutions. Unfortunately, we do not have time to review everything because you can see that we thoroughly checked one solution and it took about 1 hour and maybe even more. So, guys, anyway, try to send solutions and I will review it, and at least you will have a chance to be reviewed on live stream. Okay, that's all from my side for today. Good luck with File Manager and have a nice evening. Bye bye.